And welcome everybody to the October meeting of TMUG Ask the Experts or Ask Me Anything or however you want to word it. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, that was a quick meeting.
Who has a new Ultra Apple Watch?
I do.
Oh,
It's kind of nice. At first I thought it was a little bit too big, but I really like the display on it.
which band did you get?
I got a third-party titanium band, so it matches the watch. I had some for the other ones that were black and Amazon special for 35 bucks.
There you go.
And who has a new Mac Studio?
Not me.
Well, I've had it a long time now. It's been a month.
Yeah, it's not new. It's pretty old now.
Yeah.
I got some new hard drives.
And I've got 6 hard drives attached to it.
Yeah, I
This
just
is going to
added,
start walking away on you.
I had a drive in my NAS go out a couple of weeks ago, so I just replaced it with 4 12-terabyte ones. So hopefully that'll last me a while.
For 12 terabytes.
Yeah,
And does that give you 48 terabytes or is
it
give
gives
you
me
24?
32 terabytes because it's in a RAID 5.
Okay.
And then I have an enclosure with 2 10s and an enclosure with 2 14s in it that I use to back that up. So, and then miscellaneous other drives.
I think you're set for a while.
That's what I thought last time.
Well, when I got rid of the old cheese grater Mac Pro from 2008, I had to do something with the 4 drives inside it. So I got a 4
bay.
a 4 bay enclosure from Otherworld. And they're now there. And I got another one on top that matches the Studio, and it has a solid state drive in it. It's only that thick. And I use that for the backups. So that makes 6 drives that show up on the desktop.
Yeah, I have a total somewhere around 150 to 200 terabytes of storage here. And it's all backed up, so. Lots of videos and stuff like that, a lot of music.
Hello, George. Hello, Denny. Welcome.
I can hear you.
Well, is anybody getting a Mercedes Maybach or EQS or EQS SUV?
I drove an EQS a couple of months ago. I wasn't that impressed with it.
Yeah, but now you can get spatial audio.
Yeah, for $100 and some odd $1,000,
Right.
you know.
Well, I'm sorry. There's just not enough room in my garage with the Bugatti in there.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that.
Hey, I have that Japanese classic. What are they called? Oh yeah, Nissans. That's expensive enough for me for a car.
I thought you were going to say Honda 50.
No, we got 2 cars. I have a Nissan Altima and Sue has an old Chevy Cobalt that she drives maybe 1,000 miles a year on.
My Tesla turns 4 years old already here in December.
Oh my goodness.
Can't believe it. 4
Are
years.
you gonna have to replace the batteries in that thing?
No.
Sooner or later, you will, won't you?
They're good for about 1 million miles. So
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought they had to be replaced every 5 years or so.
no, they've got a 8-year warranty, and it'll have at least 90% of the original charge.
Wow,
capable
that's
of 8
impressive.
years. Yeah. But my question is who will live longer, my car or me?
Well, my Nissan that I have now is only my 5th car.
Yeah, I usually run about 10, 12 years before trading in, but I was in the Prius, 2 models of the Prius, and I kind of liked the last one I had, but then the Tesla kind of rolled around at an inopportune time that I said, well, I'll give it a try, and by God, I got it. And a year later, I got rid of my wife's Toyota and got her a Tesla, so we're all electric now.
Anybody have any Mac related questions?
Well, I'm really trying to think of something here. The studio has been working fine. The new watch has been working fine. You guys already talked a little bit about the upcoming release of the new iPads. I'm debating, I've got I think it's a 2020 MacBook, iPad Pro, the big one. What is that, 12 inches or whatever? And I was looking at, well, will the new one fit in the case that I already have, or do I have to buy a
No.
new case?
You have to buy a new case.
Yeah, boy. They get you
And if you have a
coming-
magnetic case, they always, it's like every time that they make something very close, they'll either shift the camera just a little bit or they'll reverse polarity on a magnet so your cover doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a quiet night tonight.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I think I need to take my computer into Apple Store to have them look at it because I'm having some problems that make me think that there's a hardware or a great big software problem. I'm not sure which. What do you recommend is the best way to get that computer ready to take into the store in case I have to leave it or something?
Well, first thing you want to do is, first off, what type of computer is it?
It's a new M1 Ultra.
Okay.
Ultra
If you-
what? Studio?
Studio, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one and mine's working fine.
Yeah, what's the
Two-
problem?
Well, let me finish up on here first. If you're gonna be bringing it in, the first thing that you want to do is get a second partition and just install a clean version of Monterey on it. And that'll let you know whether it's a hardware issue or a software issue. If it's a software
Well,
issue,
Can you explain that a little further? Because I've probably updated the OS on this thing half a dozen times, maybe more.
right, every few months they come out with an update. But if it's, what problem are you having that you think might be
Well,
hardware?
My biggest one is my mail program. Things just don't look right. The other thing is I'll leave my computer for a little while. I'll come back and it looks like it's been rebooted or something's changed. In other words, Windows, I have 2 screens here and the windows change around. So there's different things in different places. And I just don't understand that.
Okay, that's
well,
multiple
something-
issues. The thing about rebooting, if you go into your system preferences under power, make sure that power nap is turned off. That
Power
is
nap.
something that has always been buggy and has caused machines to crash at night if it goes into sleep.
Well, but this is something that goes on during the daytime. That's the problem, Kevin.
But is the machine sleeping when that happens, or are you using it? and
Well,
it's-
I have a screensaver on it, but the screensaver only runs, I think, for 20 minutes or so, and then it goes into sleep mode, I guess.
Right, and if that's when it's
what I say.
rebooting,
Come back
that's
and
an
I
issue
wake
with
it up
power
and
nap.
I come back and wake it up and things on the windows have moved around and stuff. That size of windows changes, that kind of thing. Just nutty things that I just don't think should happen just because I walked into the kitchen or went to the bathroom.
Right, if it's actually going into sleep mode, And that's causing it to restart. One of the things that you can tell, do you have a Touch ID set up on there?
A Touch ID? No.
Yeah. Trying to think here. Power, if it does go into sleep mode and it's crashing in sleep mode, that's a power nap issue. So by turning off power nap, that
Well,
could stop that.
And don't let it turn the drive off during sleep. Let the drive run.
Well, a solid state, there's no drive in there.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah, that's another problem.
You're not
too,
supposed,
but-
don't put it to sleep because it'll have to wake up. And maybe that'll cause some changes.
Well, that could. Let me tell you, give you a little more history. I replaced this, or I used this computer to replace the old Mac Pro 2013. And that one got to a point where it actually was, and I came in here one day and it was actually doing it. It shut down and it restarted while I was sitting here.
Do you
And it
have
kept
a,
and it did that a lot. And of course, I moved a lot of the software from that computer over to this one, and I'm not sure if there was something in there that messed things up or what it is, but that's kind of why I want Apple to do a diagnostic on it and see what, if they say there's nothing wrong with your computer, then I've got to figure out something else.
Well, you could do the, go ahead, Ridge.
do you have a battery backup unit?
Yes.
So then it shouldn't really shut down with power fluctuations.
So that's the thing. See, the other one didn't shut down because of power. It just restarted by itself.
Yeah, well,
And if you want to hear something really funny, when I sent it in for the rebate or for the what do you call it? The money back, when I bought the other one, what do they call that?
the trade-in.
Trade-in.
The trade-in value. When I sent it in for the trade, I get a message back from the company that was checking it out, and they said, "We're sorry, we can't pay you for this. It's not worth anything because you've what is it? When you do take an iPhone and you put a new iOS or something on it, what do they call that?
You upgraded the operating system?
No, when people will buy an iPhone and then put different operating system
I
on it.
jailbroke it.
Yeah, that's what they said. We can't get you anything because your computer's been jailbroken. And what the hell is that?
You can't jailbreak a Mac.
No, that's right. So I called Apple and we got that taken care of. But that's the kind of dumb stuff that I don't know if it had anything to do with the way the thing was working or not.
No, several things is number one is that if you do bring it into Apple and it's a software issue, what they'll do is they'll erase the drive. So you don't want to do that.
So you want to back it up to something.
Well, I don't care if they do
Before-
that because I'll have a super duper
Well,
backup.
that's a problem because if it's a software issue and they erase the drive and they say everything's working fine, then you restore it from your backup and you have the same problem. You're exactly where you were beforehand.
Good point. Good point.
So there's two things to do. First thing you could do is you could run your own diagnostics on it. So what you do is you shut down your computer and you hold it up. When you turn it on, hold down the D key. As D is in diagnostics.
That's when you turn it back on.
When you turn it back on, the only key
Okay.
you'll hold down is a D.
D is in David.
D is in David.
Okay.
That'll start the built-in diagnostics. It'll ask you to connect to your network and you do that and it connects to Apple and it does what it needs to do.
Mhm.
That's step one. If everything passes there, then what you want to do is you want to, using disk utility, create a new APFS volume.
On the
You'll be-
internal drive, on that
On the
SS
internal drive, it basically shares the space, so you're not partitioning it. Then you want to install a new version of Monterey on that partition. And then run off of that for a couple of days. If you don't have a problem, then it's definitely not hardware.
Okay, let me back up a little bit here. So I'm gonna create this APFS partition.
Well, it's not a partition. So what you
Oh.
do is you open up disk utility on your computer now.
Okay.
And you'll see where it says Macintosh HD or whatever you have there.
Uh-huh.
If you right click on that, on the very bottom, you'll see where it says add APFS. Let me actually do it. Give me a second. Let me get this utility up.
Yeah, this APFS is confusing to me.
Yeah, it'll
I'm not
say add APFS volume.
Volume, okay.
Okay, and when you add it, you'll name it something like Mac OS test or something like that.
Okay.
Then you could download Monterey from the App Store and run
Okay.
or if it's in your
It's in my recovery.
if it's in your applications folder, you could just run the application again and install it on that volume.
I don't think I have Monterey in my applications. I don't.
If not, you could download it from the App Store.
Well, like I say, I've reinstalled, I've erased and reinstalled several times.
Right.
So I know how to do that. You just push the button, hold it until it says, what do you want to do? And I say, I want a new OS.
Okay.
Okay. So I got
So
you.
and make sure that you install it on that volume, not on your existing volume.
Right. So it's got to have a different name, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I got you.
And then you just run that without moving your software over and see if you continue to crash and stuff like that.
Can I move applications over there one at a time or something?
You could try, you can install some applications just to test it to see what you have. And if you have any really old applications, you just might need to check for updates.
I think I'm pretty much up to date. In fact, I think I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, that won't run on this computer.
Well, just because it runs doesn't mean it's fully compatible.
No, I understand that too, but the type of, the old 64 and 32-bit kind of things,
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten rid of all of those that kind of stuff.
Yeah, one other thing that you might want to do is go over to website. It's called corecode.io. That's CORECODE
CODE
.io
dot
and download a
okay.
copy of Mac Updater.
Mac up.
And that'll check all the software on your computer and let you know if there are any updates to the software that you have.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
And before you do all this, you should have a good backup, but you said you used Super Duper.
So is that not a good way to go?
Nope, that's a good way to go.
Okay, because I've
As
been
long as
doing
you have a
that.
backup before you start playing with things.
And it works. Now,
Yeah, and
let's
as
get-
far as
let's get-
mail goes, that's not a hardware issue.
Okay, I don't know. The other thing is that my new Ultra is named Mac Pro, just like my old Mac Pro was. That bothers me.
Okay, so go into your system preferences.
I tried that.
I'll show you where it is.
Okay. All right.
Go to sharing.
System preferences and sharing. Where's sharing? Right here. Okay.
See up on top where it says Mac Pro.
Oh, you're kidding.
Just
Can I
rename it
change
and then
that?
just change it right there and then hit enter.
I'll be darned.
And then you'll see the next line below it change as well.
So what should I name this? M1 Studio or something?
Whatever you want.
Does that sound all right? Okay. Whoop. STU Studio. And then do what now?
You'll notice a line underneath that says macpro.local.
Yeah.
If you hit enter, it'll change that to macstudio.local.
How come nobody at Apple and the Apple telephone support could tell me this?
Because they're going by scripts.
Okay.
And you'd
My
be
daughter,
surprised, some of those people don't even own Macs.
I talked to a guy the other day. I started to ask questions and this is over at the store even. I said, I've got this Mac and I've had this problem with email, da da da. And he said, I'm not a Mac guy. This guy's back there working at the Genius Bar. Now, what the heck is that about? I don't know.
I know.
Maybe he was a phone
Sadness.
guy. I don't know.
Life at Apple has changed.
It has. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. I'm going to give those things a try.
Yeah, and if you need any more advanced help, feel free to drop me an email.
I will do it. I think I have your address in my contacts because I think you helped me out one time before.
Cool.
Kevin@mac.com.
Yeah, real simple.
Just kevin@mac.com, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Got a question. A new icon has popped up on my iPhone on my lock screen. It's a clock face and it's got the letters CUP in it, and it shows the current time. And I don't know where that icon came from, or how to get rid of it.
You updated your iPhone to iOS 16?
Yes.
Okay, what you do is you on your lock phone, on your iPhone, hold on, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Press and hold the screen.
Okay.
And you see the button that says customize?
No.
Press and hold it, it'll shrink down.
Oh, it didn't. Wait a minute. I got a notification that's kind of getting here. You press on the screen. Okay, now it says customize.
Press customize and then you could remove that item. If you want,
Okay.
or you could add other things in there.
I ended up with just a big earth.
Yeah, so if you notice, and when you hit customize, there'll be like a grid around it, around the date, the time, and whatever you have underneath it. So if you tap on that, the area that you want to delete, it'll come up and that you'll see a minus sign.
Well, I got to start over because all I have now is the earth, and it's all it's
Okay.
on there.
Yeah, I can't see your phone with your background, so.
Yeah, okay. I'll let it time out and see what happens.
Okay,
What is a good way to go through a mail and find? I've got a flickering screen. And every now and then my unread my mail, the mail list of messages bounces. It's very disagreeable. And what would be a good way to find out, see what is behind it? What is
what type of computer, Tommy, and what type of display?
I've got a Mac, a 2019 MacBook Pro, and it's on whatever display I've got the original display, and I've got one of these 6K or 5K and a 4K.
What might be happening is you may have your refresh rate set wrong.
How do I set that?
I use a software by a company called Coingo Software called Display Maestro. And that lets you set the resolution and the refresh rate on displays. I know you could do it with the Apple utility, and I think it's depending on your operating system. I think that if you select the displays control panel while holding down the option key,
Hey, I'm just new
Um,
here.
you get some extra options, or if you change it to scaled while holding down the option key, you get some extra settings to change the refresh rate on it.
but it's random, Kevin. It's not regular. It just comes and then it's gone and then it comes back through and it sort of bounces through and it's only part of the screen.
Yeah, it sounds like a hardware issue. It could be the refresh rate is set wrong. You could have a cable going bad.
I took it over to I I took it over to Apple to well, what's his name, to the Sinotech. He said it was a software issue, and when I do start it up in safe mode, I don't have that problem.
Well, safe mode doesn't install. Um.
What the heck? I did not write that. Both my hands are up. That was not me. I swear. I'm here to learn. It was not me.
No idea. Trying to think here.
I'm like new here.
Okay, if you
Who the
could
hell is
stop
Bob
screen
Martin?
can you stop
Bob
screen
Martin?
sharing?
I'm not. Everyone's outside nowadays, huh? Mine's showing up that Nancy McNully is screen sharing. I'm not. Bob. So me personally, I think Nancy, you need to head on out of here, skedaddle, and find a new group. Thank you.
Can you guys just please cut the nonsense?
We're being hacked.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
We can always hang them up, whoever's host.
Do we know this cat?
We've been hacked.
Well, whoever's in charge ought to be able to get rid of him in a minute.
That'd be Roger.
So
He's
Kevin,
gone.
could it be a loose cable on one of those monitors?
It could be a loose cable. It could, if it's software, I doubt if it's software, it would be drivers. But that's built into the operating system and they don't load when you're in safe mode.
I see.
Unless you have
Oh.
another software that's controlling your resolution and your screens.
See, I don't really think that's the issue there.
Why don't we just
Hey, Roger, can you eject those new people?
Yeah, I ejected
I don't
one.
really think.
Okay, Nancy, or whatever your name is. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Okay.
it's not a cable because it's when I'm using my computer without any outside monitors that I have that problem.
Tommy, how are you floating in the ocean right now?
Oh, Stephen Willis. Sorry you
Yep,
have to leave.
that's me, buddy.
And we're going to report you.
Where are these people coming from? Tommy, when was the last time you reset the SMC on your computer and zapped the PRAM?
I haven't. So I should do that.
That's the first thing. If it's happening on your internal display when you're not using externals, that's the first thing I would do. And then also I'd run diagnostics to make sure it's not your video card.
Yeah, I was going to ask about video RAM.
And the diagnostics with the way you described it to.
Yep. Hold down the D key while you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, while you start your computer, hold down the D key.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Great ideas. Thank you. Let's reset the SMC, right, Kevin?
Was that?
Reset the SMC.
The SMC and the PRAM. The
Both?
SMC, I think on the laptop is on the left-hand side, hold down Command Option Shift and your power button for 10 seconds and then release them. and then just press the power button. And then your PRAM is Command Option PR from a
Okay.
cold boot.
All right.
Yeah, you could Google it. Apple has a page about that.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'll do that. I'll do that. Thank you.
okie doke.
And I would like to thank Roger Harmon, our host and sergeant at arms, for taking care of the Zoom bombers.
Or
that,
as in the old AOL days, we called them guides.
we'll let anybody join and speak for a while. Are there any other questions for Kevin? Well, I'd like to welcome everybody who has joined, Susan and Alex and Sam. Sam, we would appreciate it if you would put your full name up there on your thumbnail. So if there's any questions, please let us know. We have Kevin's been hard at work already tonight and has another 20 minutes yet to go.
Well,
He's just got everybody in tip-top shape, that's all.
here's a topic. How do you get rid of other in your storage?
You talking about your iCloud storage?
No, in my Mac storage. I
Where are you?
have 440 gigabytes of other.
Where are you seeing that?
In about this Mac under storage.
That could be all your documents and stuff.
No, documents is separate.
What about snapshots?
Yeah, snapshots shouldn't show.
That'd be a lot of snapshots.
Roger, there's an article in Macworld today that talks about cleaning up your Mac with all sorts of excess stuff. It is an enormous article, but it is full of really good information, including this. I will try to find it and see if I can stick it in the show notes here, the chat.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I just did mine out of 1 point some odd terabytes that I have. It shows nothing under other. So it could just be things that it's not aware of. Do you have the software Grand Perspective? Are you familiar with that?
No.
It's yeah. What do you call it? Not freeware, it's open source. And it's similar to Daisy Disk, where it'll show you a map of everything on your computer by file size. And you can go around and figure out what's taking up space.
And how do we get there, Kevin?
It's on SourceForge, so just
Okay.
Google Grand Perspective.
I just put it in the meeting chat.
Ah, that's even better.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, here's a Grand Perspective at the Mac App Store.
You're better off downloading a lot of things off the Mac App Store if you can. There was one software that I was playing with the other day, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. If you download it on their website, it's free. If you download it on the Mac App Store, it's $4.99.
$2.99.
Is that what Grants per they're charging for that? Yeah, that's another one that if you do it from their website, it's free.
And that was called Grand what?
Perspective.
Grand Perspective.
I'll put the link in the chat for the App Store.
Thanks, Roger.
The only thing is the link doesn't say what it is, but I guess that's not important.
Yeah, actually, this link does say what it is.
After you click on it.
Nope, before you click on it, it's right in the link name.
Yes,
Oh, there it
Grant.
is. Okay. No, I could see one from Kurt, but I didn't see this other one till just now. Okay.
Okay, and here's the website. And it's free if you do it from their website. And it says right on their front page, it says download Grand Perspective from SourceForge for free or from the App Store for $2.99. You'll get the same app either way.
Hmm.
And a lot of developers are doing that because Apple charges so much for the app to be included in the App Store.
So they're giving it away for free.
Well, Apple charges them when you download the apps there, so they've got to recoup that money that Apple is getting.
Yeah. Where does the free come in?
If you download it on their website because it's open source.
30% of nothing for Apple, you know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Speaking of software, I heard about a piece of software called ID Mark Z. And it is a piece of software that allows one to open Adobe InDesign documents and save them as something that could be imported into other programs. I probably have 10 or 12 documents that are kind of orphaned as InDesign documents. But I don't want to pay the $179 for the app or the 100 and something for a year. I just wonder if anybody heard of it and maybe had it, and I'd be happy to pay them to do it for my documents and send them back to me. I kind of doubt that anybody here has that, but if you do, please let me know.
Bob, I've got the full cloud. I can convert your documents if you want.
Can you save a?
Oh, as something else?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a
can you
good
say
question.
there's an interchange format, which is what this software uses. Let's see
Let
if
me
I
check on that.
come up with a.
Yeah, I've got everything loaded for later, so I'm not going to try it now, but I'll check out InDesign and see. It just got updated today with everything else at Adobe Max.
Yeah, I haven't done the updating yet. Speaking of updates, there's a new Zoom 12. Ridge, do you know the current version number of Zoom?
5.12.2.
Yeah, that's. I see. Okay, export InDesign files as IDML, which I think is the interchange format that then I could open up in Affinity Publisher.
Yeah, I just went to Adobe's forum and they reference using ID Marks as well. Or Mark, they call it Marks Tool 2.
Okay.
Let me see what this is. Oh yeah, it's been replaced by ID Marks.
Well, Chris, I might send you a small InDesign file and you can play with it and see if it'll save it out as something else other than just PDF.
We're
Hopefully
headed out of town
IDML.
tomorrow, but I'll take a look at it on Saturday when I get back.
No, it's not, it's not urgent.
Okay.
It's not urgent at all.
Just thought of another question, Kevin.
Yes.
You answer iPhone questions?
Sure. if I know the
Oh,
answer.
My homeowners association holds its meetings now on Zoom, and there's one guy somebody that always shows up as iPhone. And he says, I can't change the name. Do you know anything about that?
It's got to be in the settings under Zoom for his name.
It's a Zoom thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was, but I'm not sure. I wasn't sure.
It's easy on your Mac, but
Oh, I know it's easy on the Mac.
yeah. I've never been in a Zoom meeting with a phone or an iPad, so I don't really know.
I've actually seen that frequently. In fact, I'd say most people that call in, it does say iPhone.
And
Or,
that's
or Susan's iPad or something.
George's
Yeah.
iPhone or something like that.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to change it or something. Yeah.
I
No
know
offense, George
someone
Brett.
who uses an iPhone for Zoom, and we see his name, so it can be done.
Okay, I know that you can do it in the settings on the Zoom website. That you can certainly change your name there. I don't know if you can do it, right on the phone while you're in Zoom itself. But
Well, if I run my cursor over the top of my picture here, I get a 3-dot menu and it says rename right down at the bottom.
Yep, but that's
So
on a Mac.
iPad people should see the same thing, you think?
iPhone is it's a horse of a different color.
Oh, okay.
Okay, any more questions?
Think we're good. I just have to copy the chat here. Okay.
I'd like to welcome Maureen Cardigan. Maureen, are you new to TMUG? Do you have any questions?
She's got to unmute.
Maybe she's just a lurker.
I think I figured out how you do it on the iPhone.
You did. Great.
Well, what it shows when you open up the app, it says join a meeting. You put your meeting ID in, and then it says join with a personal link name. And it defaults to iPhone, but you can edit it.
Before you join a meeting?
Yeah, before you join the meeting.
Yeah, that's probably the problem is, well, I'm in here now. I can't do it now.
Yeah.
Well, when I sign in, I like sign in using the numbers and the password. And the first thing that I get is put in the meeting ID, and then it has place for my name, and that's where I put in Jerry Monterey.
Yeah, I'm talking about on the iPhone itself.
But what I'm saying, it sounds like basically the same thing, no?
Yeah, it looks that way.
It's supposed to be link.
Anyhow, that looks like it may be the answer.
Oh, well, in the profile for Zoom on my iPhone, it says account which is email, and then display name.
Right.
Which is first name, last name. I would assume it uses that.
Yeah.
And I think I've signed into this for the first time. I never use Zoom on the iPhone. So well, another thing too, though, right? I have a Zoom account through another club. So that it could be that, and I signed in with those credentials. So maybe if you don't have a Zoom account, then it would just default to the machine name.
Well, it looks like you can edit it. I have a Zoom account with the other club, and that's what happened when I signed in today. It came up with my other club account name.
I don't know though, for somebody who does not have a Zoom account, right, who's never created one, even a free one, it might default to whatever their device name is. And they might not have a way to change it, right? I mean, where would they go?
I think that's possible.
I've seen it a lot, though. It is sort of annoying because you don't know who they are.
Well, this is the thing I've tried to tell my homeowners association, because they have these kind of open meetings. The address and everything to get in is just on the website. People,
Yeah.
I said, why don't you have people sign in with their real name? We can tell, we know if they're homeowners or not, because we know who they are. But we don't know who the heck iPhone is.
Yeah, it's certainly a valid question.
If you go to any of the Naples meetings, they do that. If you don't sign in with your real name, you will never get in.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
If not, maybe it's time for our break.
Yeah.
Time for dinner.
Hey, Roger, are you able to edit those idiots out from earlier?
Yeah, anything's possible.
Okay.
And Kevin, your instructions, it worked. I got it changed.
Cool.
Kevin, I went to the link file pro info, and I don't see where it talks about InDesign files.
Well,
converting
isn't
them.
INDD, isn't that an InDesign
Yeah,
file?
I think so. From INDD, accordingly, all tools are 100% secure and free, blah, 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 but it doesn't say what it can convert them to.
Okay.
It says,
IN
how can I convert an INDD document? Well, convert it to what?
Let me see here. I'm click some links, free converter tools. I think you got to do this in Firefox. I'm not sure Safari is supported. So let me change browsers real quick. Okay, docpose.com is free online file tools. Convert. It's a no, it's not a presentation. Let me see here. Nope, not there. InDesign, is that considered a presentation or?
No, that's it prepares stuff for printing.
Yeah, it's a layout.
Layout
Layout?
program.
Yeah, like writing newsletters
I
and that
don't-
sort of stuff.
I'm looking at docpose.com and they don't list. I don't think it's under images. Under eyes. No, it's not on their site. Give me a second. Copy link here.
I'm here. I'm just having some dessert, so I'm not on video.
Did Melissa get the drive?
Yes. She tested them all out and decided on one of them, and it's now in her possession.
He's kidding, Rich. The two that she didn't want are in a bag in the garage, and I'll bring them back to you along with the banner.
Okay,
Yeah, they don't change these to the IMDL. I don't know why this is always going into mute. It doesn't convert them into IMDL format. I think that iMarks is the only tool.
It could be that Adobe doesn't support iMark and therefore they're not gonna share it.
Well, they don't want you
Um,
to, they don't want you to leave their ecosystem. You know,
Yeah,
it's only $56 a month.
Wow.
well, I think you can get it for around 29, I think, depending upon what you're using.
Well, that's what I got, but I've only got Photoshop and Dreamweaver.
And
Well,
this- You know, I'd
Do
like
you-
to have these files converted, but it's not the end of the world.
yeah, well, I'll check on Saturday.
Okay.
Well, I have an old version of the Creative Suite. I think it was CS6. I have the Master Suite. I
Yeah,
could
well,
run that. I could run that on an old machine and see if that'll convert it.
Well, I have, you know, I have a subscription and I could add, I could add
InDesign.
InDesign for a month and see if it worked, but it's really not that important.
Yeah, well, yeah, Bob, let me try it on Saturday and I'll let you know.
Okay, no problem. Well, Mr. Roger, I'm gonna, you know, pause here and go refill my glass and be back in time for our main meeting. How about you?
Yes, I'm going to stop the recording.